Sound check. Sound check. All right. Hey Galaxia, good morning. It's not deja vu. We're not seeing the same thing again. I am actually gonna again describe how to paint Microsoft Flight Simulator airplane today. I'm gonna make this quick so it can go fly, but I figured out how to do it, and I want to test my blog post that I'm writing. Follow my own instructions about how to paint a pizza on an airplane in Microsoft Flight Simulator, which is basically the basic, really basic tutorial about how to get a custom livery, a custom skin, a custom paint job on your own little airplane to fly in the skies of Microsoft Flight Simulator. I'm doing good. I'm doing better today, thank you. How are you doing? This is what we're gonna put there. It's a little painting I did yesterday. It's a pizza. You have like you have the dough in the bottom. You have some sauce and a little bit of the burnt crispy side, the way it's nice. And then you have some mozzarella, some olive, some tomato sauce, and some basil and some olive oil on the top. All right, your fine still headache. Oh, sorry to hear that. What do you do with those headaches usually? For me, ibuprofen, or if it's really bad, a Voltaren after I've eaten, like about 600 milligrams of ibuprofen, and then sleep or a shower, and exercise is good too for me. All right, but I'm gonna jump right in here because I want to get going quite quickly of this thing today. Before we get to the painting here, I'm not going to show you how to paint. I have it ready here. That's for another stream when I have my Wacom set up on the PC. Good morning, Wild Craze. Painkillers and a nap. Yeah, that's what does it for me. Good morning, Wild Craze. You will notice there's a Pac-Man emote you can use now. I put it up there especially for you all. We're talking about Pac-Man. And the cool things about pizzas is we can cut a piece off and it looks like Pac-Man, alright? So let me run this through quickly, okay? We are first find the folder containing the files for the airplane we want to paint inside our Microsoft Flight Simulator folder. This is not deja vu, it's the same thing I did yesterday, but I'm actually going to run through a tutorial I wrote to make sure that I get it right, and I'm going to publish that tutorial on my website, okay? So you find where, and I apologize if it's a little boring if you've seen it already, but I'm going to try to move through it quickly. So the first thing you do is wherever you installed Microsoft Flight Simulator, in my case in this SSD, you go into the official folder. You don't change anything in there. So official, I got it from Steam. Okay. You don't never change anything in here. You don't touch stuff here other than just to copy what you want, and you're gonna paste it in the community folder so we can edit it over there. So we're gonna come in here and we're gonna get this. We want to edit the Cessna 172. Hopefully the music's not too loud. If it is, just let me know and I'll reduce it. I'll reduce a little bit right now. All right. We want to edit the Cessna 172, and we are going to go in and get this Aviators one. Okay. The Sopwith has potential. Yeah, I like the Sopwith best as well. I love that. I actually really like the little emote. Maybe I should make it a subscribers as well. I'm experimenting with that. We'll see how it goes. Okay, so you come in here, you find the airplane you want to edit the library for, and in our case, the Cessna 172 with the Garmin, which comes with the default version of Microsoft Flight Simulator, it has already built-in libraries, so we're just gonna edit one of those built-in ones to make our life easier. We're gonna get the Aviators one. I'm gonna right-click, I'm gonna copy, and then I'm gonna go back to the Microsoft Flight Simulator root folder, and I'm going to double click on community, and I'm going to right click, and I'm going to paste. I copied, I took a photograph of it, and I took the photograph and I put the photograph in the community folder, and it auto-magically became a folder with all the other same thing. Thank you, Galaxia, for the lurk. And shoot Morse code with it. That's true. I can't read Morse code. I should probably learn because they have it in elite satellites and all sorts of stuff. But isn't that an awesome thing? With just yes and no, with just zeros and ones, with just dots and dashes, we can communicate. And that's how all this that is happening right now, ladies and gentlemen, me talking to you, us playing, editing with paint jobs for Microsoft Flight Simulator, us flying digital airplanes on the internet, this is how it all happens. Just yes and no, two black or white, yes and no, night and day, sun and moon, yin and yang, that is with just two different things. We have life, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so what I did is I just went into Microsoft Flight Simulator, the official. I found what I wanted to edit. We got in the existing library of the C-172 library aviators. We copied that back into our community folder. Here it is. All right. Okay, so that's the first step. First step is copy. Right? Wildcard says, I want to debate why it shouldn't be called Morse code, but I probably shouldn't. Yeah, is it named after a Morse person? Maybe he wasn't a very nice person. I don't even know, but yeah, I won't debate with you. I'll be happy to have a different name for that as well. I would call it a yes/no code, or I don't know, yin-yang code, or binary code. Maybe it's better. Morse didn't invent it, and it's a cipher, not a code. Interesting. I did not know about it. I'm gonna have to look that up, and we can discuss it. Maybe during the flight a little later. Okay, I'm gonna get going quickly here. I don't want to spend all day doing this. I just want to get in here. So the first thing was we copied a copy of the folder of the library 1 into the community folder. Okay, second step, all right. Edit text in folder names. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna go in here. We're gonna right click. We're gonna rename, and I'm gonna call this pizza because we're gonna make a library with a pizza on the wing. Okay. There, that's pizza. Then I'm gonna go in there. I'm gonna click on sim objects. I'm gonna click on airplanes, and here I'm gonna right click, rename, and instead of library aviators, I'm just gonna call it pizza again. I could put library pizza. I want to keep it all simple with pizza. Okay. I'm just following my own instructions that I'm writing in this blog post. At the end of the stream, I'm gonna publish this blog post, so you're gonna be able to see. You don't have to just look at the video. You can go to see some text. I prefer text. And that's why I'm doing this, not just for my benefit, but for your benefit as well. But I forget things, so it's good to have a blog to write things so you remember. So I remember to myself later because I forget stuff, you know. And if it helps someone else, all the better. Okay, so I renamed that to I put pizza in the end there too. I'm gonna double click again. Again, we have all these aviators in here. Let's get rid of the aviators. You know, we are an aviator. We're a digital aviator. I'm gonna rename this one to pizza. I'll follow the default here. If it's uppercase, I'll keep it uppercase. If it's lowercase, I'll keep it lowercase. If it's title case, I'll keep it title case. I'm just replacing aviators with pizza here. This is the renaming folders stage of this. Wildcrate says, I have a library idea I want to try out, but I lose motivation every time I copy the original and start looking around. I hear what you're saying. Who knows? Maybe these streams will give you some more motivation. I'm going as I go along. I'm no pro. I just going the really most basic way to edit something right here. Later I want to get into decals. I'm curious about decals, how to change those texts that can go over stuff, over and the masks and things like that, so you can do more special effects on the libraries. I don't know how to do that. We're gonna find out together in future streams. And don't worry, it's not just gonna become all about painting these streams. There is going to be video games too. You know, well, we're painting something in a video game. Okay, so but it's useful. It's fun to learn this stuff. Okay, so we replaced that with pizza as well. What else? Okay, all right, and that's it. Those are all the photos we have to rename. So that wasn't too bad. It was just 3 of them. It was just the very first one. We put pizza in the end there of the library. Then we drilled in sim objects, airplanes. We put pizza in the end of that folder over there of the airplane, and then we drilled in, and in here we have model, panel, and texture, which is what we're going to be editing. Okay, and we put .pizza in the end of those. Okay, so that's the edit text in folder names stage. Now we're going to go to edit text in text files. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is going to go into aircraft.config here. All right, and we're going to rename again Aviators Club library. We're just going to put pizza. Okay, down here model, and let me zoom this in so you can see here. There we go, it's a little better. And here so we put pizza over there, and now model, instead of aviators, we're going to put pizza. Panel, instead of aviators, we're going to put pizza. I could do a search and replace, but I want to take it one step at a time. Texture, aviators, and I noticed here they have a lowercase too, but back here they had it uppercase. So I'm gonna follow. I'm just gonna follow what they have here. I think this is a little learning, a little lesson here, that maybe the case of the variable here doesn't matter whether it's uppercase or lowercase. I'm just gonna leave lowercase because they had a lowercase. I'm gonna put texture pizza. That's the important one there. And another one that's important too is, where is it? The UI variation, the user interface variation. Instead of Aviators Club, I'm just gonna put pizza here as well, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, and this is what's going to show up in the little menu. Microsoft Flight Simulator when load it up. Worst finger gaming. Windows does not differentiate between case and file names. Thank you for letting me know that. What's your worst finger gaming? I am not. I only use Windows generally for playing games. I usually use Mac, which is a Unix based, believe it or not, operating system, and there it is case sensitive if you have your file system, if you have your hard drive formatted for the case sensitive. I don't know, there's so many different things now, but that's one of the differences between Windows and Mac, which is yeah, Mac and Linux. There it goes. They never really did care about casing, did they? No. I you know, no offense if you like Windows, you know, but I feel like Windows is kind of built on quicksand, and it's always syncing, you know, and you're always changing things. A friend of mine who's much smarter than I told me, like, Windows is the only operating system that rots. I think that others rot too, but Windows, there is win rot. It's actually you know, if you just leave your Windows operating system, you don't touch it, it can go bad. It's such a crazy thing. I prefer the Mac, even though after Johnny Ive took over with the software design, it got so much worse. Now it's finally starting to get better. And not just Mac, I think like all the operating systems in the last 15 years or so, they went for this like flat design of icons. Icons became worse to see, the user interface became worse. Hopefully it's coming back now, the better user interface design again. Okay, speaking of user interface design, this is a user interface variation. We put the pizza there, all right. And Wild Craze says, "What I still rather be consistent." Yeah, I like consistency, but I also like, you know, I think was it Guido Rossum, the creator of Python, said that something, if you're only worried about consistency, then that's not so good either. There was some quote about that, I don't remember. So I'm a little bit of a, you know, I used to be more of an idealist when I was younger, but these days I'm using Windows here. I'm doing this on Windows because Microsoft Flight Simulator runs on Windows. I want to play Microsoft Flight Simulator. Here I am. Okay, I tolerate Windows to play video games. So, Wild Crazy says Windows would probably brick itself if it became case sensitive overnight. I think so. I think, wow, I wouldn't want to be in the software engineering team if they decided to make that change. Okay. I wouldn't want to be in the Windows software engineering team, period. I really appreciate the work people in the Windows software engineering team do. Thank you for trying to keep things working, and thank you for letting us play these wonderful video games. I particularly love Microsoft Flight Simulator, so a special thanks for that, for Sobo Studios. An applause for Sobo Studios. And I want to mention this here. I'm talking about pizza here, okay? In Italian, pizza, it's also another word for mess. But I don't think Microsoft Flight Simulator is a mess. I think it's a really good piece of software. It's, you know, it has its issues, but it's wonderful. And I want to give this applause for Sobo Studios and Microsoft here for making this happen, okay? And the reason I'm doing pizza here is because I love food, I love pizza, and I love airplanes and flight simulators. So that's why we're going to paint a pizza on this airplane, all right? Looks like pizza even got kiwi on it. No, that's not kiwi. That's a special touch of the Neapolitan pizza. It is basil. All right. And I mean, I did a quick little painting here. It doesn't look great, but I just wanted to do a quick little thing. Okay. We got the dough. We've got the sauce and the details, and we got a few toppings. We have the mozzarella. We have the tomato. We have the basil, and we have olive oil. Okay. And the farina, the dough here is farina 00, the great flour. Very finely ground flour from Italy. Neapolitan pizza. Oh, I love that. It's difficult for me to do these streams because I start getting hungry. Okay, I'm already getting hungry looking at this pizza. Let's go back to the text file. All right. All right, we're gonna go fly in Rome afterwards because I'm gonna tell you a really excellent place to eat pizza in Rome. We could go to Naples later in the stream as well, but we're gonna start with Rome today when we get this thing flying. Hopefully, this pizza on its wing, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see how it goes. Okay. There's one thing I'm missing here, standby. I'm just not going to pay attention to that, okay? So where was I? So, okay, last thing, there's an air traffic control ID. Instead of putting this number, let's make it pizza as well, just for a nice extra little touch, okay? Probably other stuff I could change here. I'm just not going to worry about it now. I'm going to click save up here. For this, I'm using this this editor called Notepad++, which appears to be one of the most popular ones in the Windows world. Works fine for me. I don't have strong opinions about, you know, I'm not going to get into a discussion about Emacs or Vim here with you. I just use, on the Mac, I use TextMate. Here I'm using, that I'm used to for many years. Here I'm using Notepad++ because someone recommended it, and yeah, okay, use whatever text editor you want, even Notepad, okay. Worst Finger Gaming says, I got this massive steel plate to put in the oven. Oh man, I have that too. It's called, what is it? It's a baking steel that sucks up a lot of energy and can almost emulate a wood oven. Babe, can you bring the baking steel over for a minute? I'll show you right now. I put it in the oven. I'll show it to them without... I'll show you the baking steel right now. We make pizza at home too. Oh, you want to wash it? Okay, I'll have to show it to you later because it's heavy. Don't drop it on your foot.
I want it out of the oven.
All right, hold on. All right, this is the baking steel, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, I'm not getting paid for this, but you know, this guy probably makes a lot of money. He had like his dad work in the steel industry, and now he made in the pandemic this, or before, like this heavy steel thing. And it gets all this like heat energy in it when you leave it in the oven, and then you put like a pizza on it, and like 3 to 5 minutes after it is done. And it's not only the baking steel. We also use this. This is like a, what was it? It was like a funny name. It was the New Star Food Service. I'm doing all this free advertising for this thing. Okay, but this is a pizza peel. Okay, so we do make pizza here. I'm not just painting it on the airplane. We have learned how to make pizza during the pandemic at home, and it is excellent. Some doughs are better than others. We're still experimenting. You know, even link a good pizza dough recipe on the blog post at the end of this stream. Okay, worst finger. Yep, exactly. Worst finger. That's awesome, man. Are you a streamer as well? Let me check it out here. Are you a streamer? Yes, you are. All right, there's a follow for you. Someone who likes pizza and who, you know, likes Emacs and all that stuff. I'll give you a follow for all that. Okay, I need one of those. I only have a small one. Yeah, this one was cheap. Oh, thanks so much for the follow. All right, you're like my first real follow for like a day or two, because yesterday I got attacked by bots or something. There's some bots loose on the Twitch, but now today seems a little better. All right. Yeah. So yeah, this thing is only like 20-25 bucks. Oh. And you can use it as a cutting board too. So it's light. Go in the oven. All right. I know, Amber's saying like I'm making her feel like making a pizza. It's all put in the cup. Okay, we'll talk about recipes later. Okay. Valkyrie says Paddle confirmed. Now we just need a seat. I'm gonna have to play a drum hit for that one, ladies and gentlemen. And you know, we can just paddle in. Let me see myself here if I can see that. I can just paddle the speed plane in. There is a paddle in the. Gonna paddle in. You know, gonna paddle in. Paddle into the Tevere, to the Lungo Tevere, and we're gonna park near the Isola Tiberina. We're gonna go see this. I'm gonna show you Microsoft Flight Simulator, whereas you can have an excellent pizza in Rome. It's making me want to go to Rome just. All right, combining food and airplanes, ladies and gentlemen, two of the things that I am quite obsessed about: food and airplanes. All right, so. Nope, I don't stream. That's all right. I'll give you a follow anyway for coming here and for just appreciating your presence. Okay, so here back to the thing after that diversion. We saved here. That's fine. Okay, we can close that. Go ahead and close that. We were editing aircraft.config. Okay, so what's next? Let me continue following my blog post here that I'm gonna publish afterwards. Okay. Then I'm gonna go back all the way back to airplanes, the sim objects, and the root folder, and there's a file called manifest over there. You don't really have to edit this one, but hey, let's give ourselves credit here. We're doing this stuff. You know, this is not the Aviators Club. This is Pizza, the library, the title of the library. And the Sobo Studio, even though they've created all this stuff, this particular one, we're gonna put our own name on it. So I'm just gonna put Hypertext Hero here for now. That's fine. I'm gonna click a little save button. We're good, and I'm gonna close manifest, alright? Alright. Now, we've edited a couple of graphics files. Now it's time to actually edit put the pizza on the plane. Okay, let's put the pizza on the plane. Hey, Mort75, I'm back doing this thing. How are you doing? I promise I will go back to fly a little later, but I am just going through this to make sure I got it right one more time to put, we're gonna paint a pizza on an airplane, all right? So, more painting, yeah. We're putting a pizza on the airplane. And now it's getting to the stage that we're actually going to edit the graphics file. Okay, so how do we do that? We do this. Okay, you go to Sim Objects, you go to Airplanes, you go to a Sobo C172 Sierra Papa Alpha Sierra 1000 Pizza. It's the Garmin 1000 version we're doing that comes with default standard Microsoft Flight Simulator, not the one that comes with Deluxe that has like the steam gauges. I want to get that, but it's, you know, I don't know if there's an easy way to upgrade to Deluxe that doesn't cost a fortune. If there is, I'll click on it, but I haven't found a way yet. Okay, so we're gonna go in here and we're gonna the texture pizza in capital letters there. We double click on that. Okay, and we're just gonna do something to keep this simple. We're just gonna put one pizza on the left wing of this airplane, on the top of the left wing. Okay, we're not gonna go, there's gonna be several other streams about this stuff in the future, because I'm learning as I go along. I'm not a pro at this. I just figured out how to do this simple thing, so I want to show you. Okay, more recap edition, don't get that, wait for the A2A. Oh, there's a super like study level Cessna 172 coming out. All right, yeah, I'll wait for that if that's coming out. That sounds good to me, because one day maybe I'll become really rich and actually get a private pilot's license in a real plane. If that becomes reality, then I don't want to be really rich. I know, I just want to be comfortable. But if I would love to have a private pilot's. Wait, is this IR thing in the way here? Yeah, let's move that a little bit out of the way. And if I do that, I want to have something as close as possible to the real thing to practice on. And chances are, if you're going to get a private pilot's license, it's going to be in a Cessna 152 or 172, because they're very common airplanes. Okay. All right, so that's the tangent. We want to put pizza on the wing. So what do we do? Okay, we find this file. We're here inside, just to quickly recap, we're inside a community folder. This pizza library, sim objects, airplanes, pizza, texture.pizza. Okay, and in here, look at that, Cessna 172 SP airframe, wings, albedo, that stands for albedo over there, .png.dds. If you don't see the .dds and you only see .png, thanks for Wildcraze for this yesterday, ladies and gentlemen. A quick shout out here to Wildcraze. Should go give him a follow if you haven't yet. He also streams Microsoft Flight Simulator, a kind gentleman helping us out here. As he mentioned yesterday, if you don't see the .dds in the end, you go to view up here, okay? You go to view on the top of your Explorer window, and you make sure that this file name extensions is checked so that you see the extensions, okay? And then you see .png.dds. That was confusing the heck out of me, because I was like, this is a PNG file, it's not DDS. Oh, 1-2 boss, what are you saying? But I was starting to blame and get jumping up and down of rage of blaming the Microsoft team, but no, it was just, you know, you have to turn on fire extension. Okay. So now, are we gonna have to go to Adobe and pay like what, like $50 a month to use Photoshop, or however ridiculous amount of money they want you to rent their software these days? I really don't like this renting software model. I don't mind if some people do it. Okay, if you work in a advertising agency and you have millions of dollars to throw around to advertise, I don't know, a toothbrush or something, then fine. But if I wish they would do a sort of more simple version of Photoshop that you pay one price and you're done. You know, you don't have to keep paying rent for it to use software. Okay, so what are we gonna do? There's some genius from Eastern Europe who made a Photoshop clone, and it's called Photopea. It's right here. Okay, so I'm gonna show you right now. I'm gonna go to photopea.com. This is awesome because it keeps all the same keyboard shortcuts of Photoshop, okay? Wildcraze says, I'm not even treating myself with a ride in the car. Aviation will probably be a lot of money spent. Not much. I think you're right. I think I would just like it for the experience, and that's why I would only do it if I was, you know, if I was pretty wealthy. You you know, you get the pilot's license, but then it's a fortune to rent a plane to, you know. I'm just gonna get, I think Mort75 had said yesterday or the day before, I'll just get a VR headset and play flight sims, you know. And then you can also shoot at them with IL-2 Sturmovik and DPS, stuff like that. Okay, so we're at photopea.com. I put the link there. Okay, we open this up in our web browser. Now we're gonna go back to texture.pizza and we're gonna drag this Cessna 172 SP airframe wings albedo.png.dds file onto the window of Photopea, and we drop, and it appears on the screen. Okay, we dragged and we dropped. I'm not gonna paint the thing live because I don't want to take much time here. So guess what? I already have a pizza. That I already did this before. Okay, so I'm just gonna. Hey, let's do this, and I'll show you another trick. I'm just gonna close this one. Okay, if you have Photopea open and you want to open more than one graphics file at the same time, what you do is you come back, you drag again that wings albedo png.ds file, Alt tab, and I drop it here on this little gray area by that tab over there, and boom, it gives you two. Okay, and then I can go here and drag my little pizza folder that I had already worked on over to the other one, drop it, and boom, and there it is, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, and just to show you what's going on here, I did this a little earlier. There's the dough, there's the sauce, and a few other details like little nice burnt crust, and there's some toppings. Okay, we've got a nice margarita classic pizza from Naples with the tomato sauce, the mozzarella di bufala, the olive oil, and some basil. There's not QE as basil. All right, and I'm also gonna turn on this little thing. I put a little word pizza written over here. There's a car of music out there. It's gonna drive me nuts. Hopefully it goes away soon, otherwise I'm gonna have to take a little break and go and throw something. No, I'm joking. I'm just gonna close the window. But all right, so that's over there. And the reason I know where things go here is because this kind gentleman called Icebird for All showed me the other day. But if you want, okay, if this here is the top of the left wing, this one here is the top of the right wing. There are templates you can find on the internet. If you look for Microsoft Flight Simulator Cessna 172 paint kit, this website called flightsim.2 is going to appear, and you can go and download that, and it'll show you a little bit better where things are. But for our use cases, use case right now, let me go close this window, otherwise I'm going to go nuts. 1 second. We prefer Photopea over GIMP because it's closest to PA. Yes, I do. I don't like GIMP because I don't know any of the keyboard shortcuts. If I was a developer of GIMP, I mean, I appreciated that it's open source software and it's out there, but if I was a developer of GIMP, the main thing I would do is I would make sure that everything that all the keyboard shortcuts would be exactly the same, equivalent to Photoshop, because that is the way to bring people who use Photoshop to GIMP. Because if you're a graphic designer or use Photoshop and you have to learn new keyboard shortcuts to learn new software, you lost me right there. I'm not going to learn new keyboard shortcuts. I want to know Photoshop because I've used it, you know, all my life pretty much, and that's what I would do if I was the GIMP developer. But I appreciate GIMP. I'll be right back and close this. Family friendly, but once in a while, you know, I don't like loud noises on the street, especially loud music coming from cars. Like, hey, look at my great taste in music, you know. It's like, come on. All right, is that right? Okay, that's about right. All right, so I've done this. I put the pizza there. Okay. What do we do? What do we do now? 1 second. That threw me off a little bit. There's GIMP S. Ooh, I'm excited now. What is GIMP S for future reference? Ooh, thank you for letting me know about that. I am going to copy that URL right now, and I am going to check it out. Thank you so much for letting me know about that. I'm interested. I'm always interested in open source software, you know. I'll take a look at that a little later. It's on Git. Awesome. All right. So I put this pizza over here, okay, and what happens? All right, now we've done this work. Let's say we spend time painting the pizza. Okay, it's where is it? It's over here, and let me turn the music down a bit. And we can move it around because it's in layers. It's a layer. Okay, so if we don't want to lose all this work, let's not forget to go to File and save as PSD, which is the default Photoshop file. I'm going to click Save. That's going to put it in our Downloads folder. Okay, there it is. Okay, and that's the PSD file. You can see at a glance, you can see if it's a PSD file because it's larger usually the size here. Okay. But that's not the file that Microsoft Flight Simulator wants. Microsoft Flight Simulator wants a file called DDS. I'm not an expert in game graphics, so not sure what it stands for, but it's the way we do that. We exported this in a format that Microsoft Flight Simulator likes. Is you go to File, Export As, More, and DDS. Okay, you leave all the settings in default. Maps, compression, just don't touch any of that. Just click Save. All right, and click Save here. You see, I have actually GIMP installed on this computer. And then we're going to go to our downloads folder, and here we go. Cessna 172 airframe wings albedo.png.dds. You can see it's only almost 3 megabytes compared to the PSD of all the layers. Okay, this is the one we want. I'm going to Alt Tab back to the texture pizza on the left side here. And so we don't overwrite the original one. I like to rename it. I'll just put after albedo there, I'll put -original. So we have that, okay. And then I'm just gonna drag and drop the DDS one in here, our new wings, okay. So we're not getting rid of the original, it's just there. All right, and so that is done, okay. And a shout out for Icebird. He's not here right now, but for sending, I am mentioning him on the blog post, and I'm mentioning Wild Chris as well for helping me figure this out yesterday, okay. All right, so the next step, okay, let's see. All right, we're almost there, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to fire up Microsoft Flight Simulator. The last step, okay, we go all the way back to the root here, the community, and you go to a library pizza, and there's this file called layout.json. Okay? You could go in this and edit it manually, but it would be really annoying to do. So what are we going to do? We're going to have the computer do it for us, okay? I think the main benefit of DDS is that it includes version of the image in different resolutions for faster rendering. Is that what MIMAPS is? I have a basic understanding of what it is. It's an image with different versions for faster rendering. So like if it's far away, it's not as detailed. And if it's closer, it's more detailed, so it renders faster. Is that how that works? Okay, different LODs. I think that stands for level of details in one file. Awesome. Thank you so much, Worst Finger Gamer, for coming in here and imparting all this knowledge. And do you work with graphics? Do you work with computer graphics, or do you like skinning? This is really cool. I really appreciate you being here, and I'm learning all this. Awesome, cool. I'm here to learn too. We're learning here together. Okay. All right. So I exported this as and we put it in there. And now there's one more file, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to edit. Let me change this song real quick. Getting a little bit too loud. The last one is the layout.json. We could go in here, open it up, and basically we'd have to scroll down and we'd have to manually add texture.hypertext here instead of aviators. Okay, we could do that. And for this library, it wouldn't be too bad, okay, because there's not that many lines. But there's some of these files, some of these planes have a lot of stuff in here, okay. What we're gonna do is we're gonna have the computer do it for us. And the way we're gonna have the computer do it for us is we are going to go to someone else's GitHub page over here. In this GitHub page, we would click on the latest release. So you can read exactly about what this executable file does in the GitHub page there. And we download this. I've already done it, so I won't do it right now, but I'll put the link here for you to see what I'm downloading. It's the Microsoft Flight Simulator Layout Generator, okay? When you download it, you put it somewhere where you won't forget. I just make a little programs folder, and I put like a little nav map there. I put a bunch of stuff that I use for Microsoft Flight Simulator there, and there it is, Microsoft Layout Generator. And all we're gonna do is we're gonna drag this layout.json file onto Microsoft Layout Generator. This little terminal or command prompt window will appear and disappear very quickly because the computer works much faster than we do. And if I open the layout.json again, look at that model, that pizza there. We have the correct dates, probably the correct file size, probably. It's done it all for us, ladies and gentlemen. All that tedious editing of that file, it is done. Thank you so much. An applause, ladies and gentlemen. Where is? Thank you so much, Hughes MD Flyer. This gentleman here. An applause for this gentleman for making layout generator. Thank you, Brandon Filer. Thank you so much for making this. I really appreciate it. A drag and drop application for updating layout.json files in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 packages. Amazing. All right. Saves a lot of time and tediousness. Okay. And ladies and gentlemen, that is it. We are done. Now, if we fire up Microsoft Flight Simulator, we should have our library. Okay, let's do it right now. I'm gonna click play, and we'll wait. All right. I'll just leave this here, a close-up of the pizza while we're waiting. All right, let's go back to the chat. After doing libraries in GIMP, I tried it in GIMP too. When I found Photopea, I was like, "Whoa, okay, now I am comfortable using this," because I spent a lot of time in Photoshop. I'm a bit of a jack of all trades, but I spent a lot of time as a graphic designer. So Photoshop is a bit of my bread and butter, and Illustrator and stuff like that. So if you give me something that has the same keyboard commands, I'm happy. Okay. One thing that Photopea doesn't do well is because there's limitations. JavaScript can't do everything. I'm not a huge fan of I don't like JavaScript, to be honest with you. But if you use a Wacom tablet, a digital pen tablet, and you turn on the pressure sensitivity in Photopea, it's really slow. It's really slow, and that's just if I was doing something that wasn't quick, that would be a problem. That I needed to use that was actual painting, like something detailed and large. That would be a problem. The speed of that. What else? I gave up on okay. I gave up on bitmaps when I had to change graphics in 12 different layers, and that's what's cool about this. You go to File, Export as, More, DDS, boom, add bitmaps. It's there. You don't have to add them yourself. I think it does it for you, but I don't know. Maybe it doesn't do it for you, and maybe I don't know. If I had to do a bunch of different layers, like another tutorial I saw, I just wouldn't do it as well. It's too much for not very. I want the graphics people in the video games to do that for me. Okay, is Microsoft Flight Simulator loading? It is coming. Okay. Worst Finger Game says the DDS export does automatically, we hope. Yep. That's my understanding. I think it does work. I haven't tested it extensively. I haven't actually tested it. I guess the way to test it would be to move away from the airplane to see if the details disappear or not. And Wild Chris says, I'm now reminded to check export settings next time. Cool. We're all learning here together, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, 1 second. Something happened here. There they are. Okay. All right. So now, quick way to see if it worked is you go to Profile, you go to My Hangar, you go to Change Aircraft, Textron Aviation Cessna 172 Skyhawk, the G1000, the Garmin 1000 version, libraries, and boom, there it is, pizza. We haven't changed the thumbnail. There's a way to do that. That's going to be for another stream, okay? But I'm going to click there. I'm going to click go back, and I'm going to click this top right here so we can move things around. And ladies and gentlemen, boom, there is our pizza on a Microsoft Flight Simulator airplane. I can't zoom in too well now, so we're going to go to Rome, fly this airplane, and land near a good pizzeria in Rome, okay? There it is. Our little pizza from here to there, okay? This latest version of Microsoft Flight Simulator, as we found out in yesterday's stream, it does not... I used to be able to just go to... I used to be able to come here, change something here in Photoshop or Photopea, whatever you use, and then come back to the hangar and save that and drag it into the folder again, and even run layout generator again, and come back here, just go to libraries, change to another library, change back, and it would update. Now it's not working anymore after this last sim update. Now you have to restart the sim. That's the only way to update it. I don't know why. If someone knows a different way to get to see it live, I would love to hear that information, okay? Because it's very frustrating to have to wait the amount of time Microsoft Flight Simulator takes to start while you're making your liveries. And this is just one way of doing liveries. I know like Icebird mentioned that you can use Blender, you know, 3D programs. This is just one simple way that I found to quickly paint something. There you go, the pizza thing showed up there. Okay, so let's take this and let's go fly in Rome. This track IR, my hat, right? Take out the pizza making bandana on the track IR hat. All right, and click here. Make sure that our pizza library is selected. There it is, pizza. And what makes the pizza appear here is back on that file on the aircraft.config, that little UI variation. I think that's what changes that. All right. Okay, Rome, Italy. Oh, we could go. Let's go to Naples too afterwards. That's what pizza came from originally. Although I think it came from the east. And Naples modified, I'm not sure, but the best pizza in my opinion in the world is in Naples. Although Italy has a very good one, New York City has a very good one, Chicago has a very good one, Rio de Janeiro has good pizza. We can go visit all those places later, okay? I'm just gonna click right above Rome here. What time is it? 10:40. All right. See, let's go around. And look at this cool thing, this new update to Microsoft Flight Simulator. Now you have a map here, so you basically have a Google Earth or Bing Maps or whatever you want to call it in the game. You can zoom in, and the place, ladies and gentlemen, where you can have excellent pizza is right by that landing, our Rome runway that we use, which is Circo Massimo. Okay, there's the Colosseum. There's two excellent, there's more than two. Okay, there's many excellent pizzerias here, but one of my favorites, another one that I didn't mention on the other day's stream, is you come here to the Isola Tiberina, the Tiber Island, okay? You cross this bridge here if you're on the north, towards the south. This here is Viale Trastevere, that's Trastevere, okay? And right around here, this building over here, okay? It's this building right over here, is Pizzeria del Marmo. All right, this is an excellent. It's this one here. It's the middle one, I think. That's Pizzeria del Marmo. Excellent pizza. You can see the guys working. You can see them like making the pizza, throwing it off, hitting it. Excellent pizza place, Pizzeria del Marmo. I'll put that there. Stand by. You take library requests. This is the first time I'm doing this, so I don't know. Pizzeria del Marmo. Okay. Viale Trastevere. Hopefully it's still open. I haven't been there for a while. Alright. Rome, Italy, okay. Why do you take live requests? Why didn't we see the flight simulator text in the image we edited? Because it's a decal? Yes, and that's gonna be another stream. I don't know how to edit those yet, but we're gonna find out. That's gonna be a different stream. It's a decal. We'll take a look at the airplane now, okay? I'm just gonna click right here. That is departure. And let me get my flight stick, and we're gonna go. We'll take a look at it from the outside. All right. Perhaps there's a shortcut in developer mode. Yeah, I'm totally unfamiliar of developer mode other than just to turn it on to see frame rates and stuff. Yesterday, Wildcroy showed me how to place individual airplanes using it, which is cool. So that's a learning experience for me as well. 4:40 local time, excellent. All right, and here you go, ladies and gentlemen. Let me quickly turn the volume down from the outside view so it doesn't drown out our talking here of this engine sound. All right. So basically, we're flying here over Rome, and there it is. Look at that. All right. There is our pizza on the wing of our little airplane. Okay, and as Worst Finger Game was talking about here, the Microsoft Flight Simulator, even though it doesn't show on that skin, it's appearing here, and also these blue tips of the wings are appearing here, and all this stuff on the back of the airplane here are appearing here, and these I believe are decals, and we're gonna learn how to edit those in a different stream. Okay, for now I'm just wanted to show you very quickly how to put a little pizza on the roof of your airplane. Okay, and it's very bright, so the reflectivity of that wing makes it kind of disappear. There's the Stadio Olimpico where Rome plays Lazio, and where I watched Pink Floyd. Wait, was it yeah, I watched not Pink Floyd, but I watched Roger Waters do The Wall there back in 2013. That was an amazing concert. I wish it was all of Pink Floyd, but it was just, you know, Roger Waters. I think they had a bit of falling out. Let's go back towards Trastevere, back towards Viale Trastevere, Pizzeri del Marmo. We'll do a quick landing there. Decals, a good point. I want to learn about that. Yeah, I would love to learn about decals. That is coming. I think that's going to be maybe the next stream, because it's a little, it can be a little tricky. I don't know how to do it yet. There you go. Pizza, ladies and gentlemen. We are over Rome. We've painted a little bit of pizza on our little Cessna 172. It is in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Later we're going to learn how to do decals, not in this stream, but in a future one. And right after this stream, I will publish a blog post with step-by-step instructions on how to do this in case you missed it. You can also obviously go and see the recap. I'll post it on YouTube later as well, okay? But for now, I just want to do a landing here. Stazione Termini. I'm gonna do a landing here. Probably at our usual place. There's Piazza del Popolo, I believe. So this is Villa Borghese here, a wonderful place. If you go to Rome, go visit Villa Borghese. And go visit this place right, what's it here? It's Galleria Borghese, which has wonderful statues by Bernini, paintings by Caravaggio, and all that wonderful art that you have in a city like Rome, okay? There's Piazza del Popolo. That's where I spent 1999 to 2000 New Year's with my friend Frankie. Ciao, Frankie! And here, of course, you have Piazza di Spagna. A lot of famous movies shot there. The Spanish Steps. Okay, a beautiful fountain as well. And we're pretty much right above Via del Corso, which is like the main shopping street. There's Via della Scrofa down there. And there's the Pantheon. Okay, I just start going crazy flying over Rome. Let's go land and talk about a little bit about this Pizzeria del Marmo. There's the Vatican. There's our landing spot next to the Food and Agriculture Organization building, next to the Roman Forum over here, next to the Palatine Hill. It is our usual landing spot here in Rome, Circo Massimo, where, you know, they rode around in chariots and try to throw spears at each other or something like that. Okay, let's see. My request is not as much technical as it is artistic. I would love a plane that has some signs of usage, like grease around the exhaust, a discolored exhaust pipe, and the metal turns off kind of rainbow colors when it's been hot. Rust spots at the gear and stuff like that. I don't know how to do stuff like that. Sure, I would love to do something like that. It would be a little bit of a learning thing. I mean, even though I'm a graphic designer and illustrator, no, I would have to learn how to do all that stuff, but maybe that's a good exercise for this stream. Maybe we try to paint this pizzas on this airplane, but we just don't paint the pizza. We also make it look like like an airplane that's delivered a lot of pizzas, okay? Because we do have pizza delivery missions in NeoFly. They're magic pizzas. They're not like regular pizzas, but where are we? Okay, let's turn to starboard now. Get ready to land. Maybe we're gonna join all that in, and this music's gonna drive me a little nuts. Stand by. And maybe we'll learn everything, and in the process do this this request of making a plane that looks like it's been used. You know, I like that idea. Thank you, Worst Finger Gaming. Mort75 says, "Did you say you have a Discord server?" I do. I don't publish it because I want to keep it you know, close. I think you came in the other day. I'll put an invite here for you. Stand by. These days I'm just putting the invite during the stream here, and I'm not publicizing until I'm a little more comfortable with moderation and stuff like that. Okay, but let me put it over here. I'm gonna just where is it? I don't want to crash. Just make sure I'm not gonna crash. Right click, invite people. There you go. And there you go. There's my Discord, alright. Back at work tomorrow. Would like to keep in touch when I can't catch your streams. Copy that. No problem, Mort. Yeah, I mean, as people, I'm an amateur at Twitch. You know, I'm getting better. I'm getting more knowledgeable about it lately. But I take it one step at a time. But people have been telling me, asking about the Discord a lot, and saying, you know, it's a good place to, you know, share links and show libraries and stuff like that. So, yeah, okay, all right. Flaps down. We're gonna land here so that I don't have to be flying and talking and doing all this thing at the same time, okay? Where are we? Let's see, Oh, track IR is turned off, okay. There we are, okay, flaps down. Flaps are down, full flaps. Gonna be easier than the PT-17 Stearman that we crashed a couple of times attempting to land off Matrock the other day because it's a little slower. Let me turn the volume up again so we can actually hear what the plane is doing when it's gonna land. Ciao, Food and Agriculture Organization workers. Ciao ragazzi. Ciao. Arrivo, eccomi. I'm a little hot. Oh, pretty hard landing. Oh. Can we not crash? Oh. Ciao, shipper. We're gonna restart the gym. That was terrible. Okay, and for this one, to make sure that I'm doing it right, I am going to turn on the landing rate leaderboard. Let me turn on SimToolkit Pro here. I had forgotten to turn it on. That's probably... that was way too fast. I should have gone around, but I'm a little, you know... The music outside was making me a little crazy. There you go. SimToolkit Pro has joined. This is what this is about. If you're new to the stream, you can go check that out. Watch out, Shipa. Wild Craze is, I think, 1 or 2 points below you, huh? That's gonna result eventually in stickers, t-shirts, mugs, all sorts of stuff when I have the merch store set up. That is coming. That is on the to-do list. All right. I'm letting people catch up. Awesome. How are you feeling? You feeling better? All right. And thanks again for the request, Worst Finger Gamer. I think that's a good idea, and I think we are going to do that. We are going to basically keep... And I'm going to publish the screen with the PSD file and everything with layers, so you can take it and can modify it for your own use, you know? So maybe if you want to make a... If you just want to take the weathering and apply it to a different skin, you could do that. We're going to learn to do all that. I think that'll be a good use of our time here, ladies and gentlemen, learning how to use these skins in how to make these skins in Microsoft Flight Simulator. So everyone who's coming in, I don't know if in the Xbox it's you can do that. You can actually go in and edit files. I don't have an Xbox, but you know, maybe that's why I like computers, PCs, because you're not only just playing the video game or the flight simulator, you're also learning how to do stuff with the computer. Okay. All right, here we go. I think maybe the wind was coming. I think I had a tailwind there, but I'm gonna try it one more time. Okay. Even if there was a tailwind, I'm gonna be a little bit more careful here. And once we land, we'll take a close look at the pizza on the top of our left wing, and we will go for a quick little drone visit of 3 good pizzerias in Rome, all around this area, all not far from this area. That's one of the wonderful things about Rome. It's not a very big city, and in the center it's like an open-air museum, so you don't have to pay to go see something. You can just go for a walk, and you just see beautiful stuff all around you. Okay, this is Terme di Caracalla down here. Sometimes they have ballet over here. They're like on that auditorium over there. Over 2,000 years old, this city, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, I think I'm going a little slower here, and it should be a little better. There's a little bit of turbulence. There's a taxi or a yellow car of some type. The taxis in Rome are actually painted white, I think. Okay, let's try this again. About 57 knots now. Thank you for predictions, Mort. And Worst Finger Gaming, thank you. Whoa, this is kind of like a landing type song here, like an older school landing song, huh? That's a little better. Pretty fast still, 281. And Mort wins! An applause, ladies and gentlemen. I think a first time win for Mort here. Pretty hard landing, but I'll take it. Oh, look at that those new effects on the wheels. Like there's new effects. There was a tailwind. You see that? Look at that. That's the that is so cool. This is from the latest sim update. Look at that. It's the wind. There's a tailwind there, I think. When I'm moving, it appears. Or is it just because of the propeller? Let's try to go the other way. Is it just because of the propeller? No, there is some wind. Those effects are affected by wind, I think, ladies and gentlemen. That is pretty cool. I like that. I love... That's my favorite thing about this game, actually. Even more than the potentially flying anywhere in the world is the wind modeling. I think it's just kicked up by the wheels. It could be. I'm gonna have to do some more testing of that. There's our pizza. So we went from this over here and all these text files and editing stuff to that pretty quickly, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna learn how to do other stuff, but now I'm gonna turn off the engine. I'm gonna show you where a few good pizza places to eat are here in Rome that you can eat at. Where is the brake here? Is it this? All right. And we'll turn off the aeroplane. And let me update the landing rate leaderboard. Caffenton, Coplane, Sandstorm's next then. That would be awesome, huh? It is a pizza delivered plane, Caffenton. Let me update the landing rate leaderboard. I think, yes, we have a brand new entry here. Mort 75 coming in of the win. Gonna go under Matrog here to make sure I don't misspell it, because that's a 0, right? It's M0 RT75, and I'll instruct my computer now to update the web server. Computer update the web server. Landing leaderboard's over. All right, there it goes. Let's just switch off the avionics so that thing's not beeping. Gonna continue. All right, now I'm gonna go to the outside view and let's see if I missed something on chat. Okay. Sheepa says, yes, I'm doing fine. It was only one day that was a bit crappy day, but I've been okay for the rest. It's just that StarCraft 2 tournaments are on, watching 2 streams at the same time. Awesome. Awesome. Well, thanks for dropping by, man. Hey, you're a big fan of StarCraft, Dick. I appreciate you dropping by as well. As always, of course, Sheepa. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the oldest friends of the Steam. We met in game in Elite Dangerous, and I've just updated Elite Dangerous. I'm gonna stream it again, maybe later, maybe this afternoon. We might switch to Elite Dangerous. All right, and the Sheepa says at least 2,500 years old and was already there 100 years before Alexander conquered the Null World. Yeah, it's an amazing city. It's definitely one of my very favorite cities in the world. Not just because my mom lives there, but I lived there for quite a bit of time, and there's art, there's good food. You know, a couple of my favorite things. Worst Finger Gaming says, I think it's just picked up by the vehicles. Yeah, we could do some testing of that later. Maybe go and try to set up a place of wind in a particular direction and take a look. Captain says cool plane, and the sandstorms. I would love sandstorms in this from Wild Craze. Magical radio right there. Yeah, with that landing music, right? All right. Okay, so let me show you where we are. Can increase the drone speed a little bit up here. Let's go there. Okay, we're currently in Circo Massimo here in Rome. Okay, the Colosseum is over there. Circo Massimo is a very nice place to walk around. The first pizza place I want to tell you about is the one I just told you about when we were flying over, Pizzeria del Marmo. And the way you go there is you come here to the Tiber River, okay? And there's a Tiber Island right there. Okay, you can go for a walk by the Tiber Island. Ooh, and this photogrammetry here, they had, this was probably summer because they had all these tents over there. That's in summer. They show movies. They have like food stands. They have stuff you can buy. It's very nice here in the summer. Okay, and you come to the other end of the island here, cross this bridge, and you go in this bridge into Viale Trastevere. Here there's a tram that goes there, that goes to Largo Argentina and Piazza Venezia, and you go down this. It looks a little bit like Fallout 4, like a post-apocalyptic scenario when you get in there, but you keep going down Viale Trastevere, and then over here you would turn right and to go down the Vicoli over there towards the oldest bar in Rome down there. But no, you just come in here. It's a little hard to see, but it is Pizzeria del Marmo is right here. Okay, this is the first one. I'll put it on chat. Okay, it looks a little bit different than in real life, but I'll put it in chat. It's Pizzeria del Marmo, Rome, Italy. That's the first one I want to show you. Okay. A very good place to eat. In Italy, they're a little more, you know, especially after if you go south of Florence, they're a little more, they know how to live life a little, they don't work so hard. So every day of the week there's a, and it's not, the restaurants and businesses must close one day of the week. You can't be open 24/7. You can't be open every day of the week. You have to close. So there's always a closing there for restaurants. Okay. We're gonna speed up the drone here, so you should look in advance to make sure that you're not starving looking for a pizza and then you get there and it's closed. That's my point. All right, so I'm gonna go here. Let's go back to the Circo Massimo, and there's our little airplane that we landed. You can get off the airplane, then you can go up here. Just go up this road over here. There's a rose garden to the left. You keep going up this road. Then over here to the right, there's the Giardini degli Aranci. Right around here is a beautiful view of Rome right here. You can see a beautiful view of Rome there. And you keep walking here. It's a bit of a longer walk, but you keep walking through some side streets here, keep heading in this direction, and you get all the way here to Testaccio. Okay? And in Testaccio, there's this piazza over here. And on the corner of this piazza, was it this piazza? No, it's this one here. This piazza. I forget the name of the piazza now, but right here, this Pizzeria D'Aremo or Sanremo or something. Let me double check that for you. Yeah, Pistachio. I think it's D'Aremo. Take a look. Yeah, that's it. It is Pizzeria D'Aremo, and it's in Testaccio, Rome, Italy. Okay, this is also an excellent pizza. This is more like a thin and crispy type. If you can ask him to make it even more crispy if you want. Okay, you often have to wait to get a table there. You can't book in Rome. You have to always, unless you go to a super fancy restaurant. But you know, Romans don't go to super fancy restaurants. They go to down to earth, because it's part of the culture of food there. Okay, so that's Pizzeria D'Aremo. The last one I want to tell you about. If we go back to Circo Massimo as our main point of reference, where we landed our Cessna 172 with the pizza on the wing there. There it is. Okay, that we painted earlier. And then you come back over here towards Viale Ventino. You turn left on Viale Ventino. It's gonna keep going up towards the Colosseum over here. There's the Colosseum. And you keep following it. You can go visit the Colosseum, maybe take some pictures of some guys dressed like gladiators, and they'll ask you for money. And you know, if you want a picture of them, that's fair enough. You can do that, and then you go. I think this is south. Okay. And this part here, if you've seen this movie called La Grande Bellezza set in Rome, this is the main apartment where they shot it right here, or where they shot the external scene of the apartment at least. Right, and you go down this street, right? The Colosseum is right here. You go down this street here. I forget the name of the street. All the way to the end. I used to live in this little apartment right here. It was a really good time in our life. It was fun. And right in this corner here, ladies and gentlemen, go say hi to Davide. Tell him Simon who lives in New York says hi. We have a Pizzeria Lerione near the Colosseum, Rome, Italy. Okay, that's a third excellent pizza place. Perhaps my favorite of these three is this one. Excellent pizza. The chef is from Egypt. The guy who makes pizza is from Egypt. Some of the best cooks in the world, ladies and gentlemen, are from Egypt, and they all work in Rome, believe it or not. All right. They don't all work in Rome, but a lot of them do. All right. Okay. Pizza full of meat and no vegetables is the best. Whatever, you can do everything you want here. You can ask them for pizza con salsiccia. You can ask them. It's not as crazy as in the United States, but my favorite pizza is just a classic margherita with no meat, just mozzarella di bufala, and you know, if it's a good one, of course. Here in New York City, in the States, I like Prince Pizza with the pepperoni. All right. What's finger game? Yeah, the water does look realistic in this, doesn't it? It's like, especially when you get like the reflection. Yeah, let's take a quick look at the water. What else? You get a free pizza for the advertisement, amico. Sì, facciamo una promozione qui per la pizzeria. Mamma mia, that would be great. Wouldn't it be great? We get like a sponsor of the stream here, some like pizza maker, maybe like the people who make the steel thing, or the people who make these like paddles, like this one over here, to put the pizza in the oven. Oh, like that would be great. All right. Okay, and what time is it? Is it 11:05? We got time. Let's do you have any request? Do you have a favorite pizza place? And I'm talking to chat now. In chat, it's Bugsy. Ciao Bugsy. Ciao ragazzo. Ciao ragazza. Ciao. Thank you, Caffington. I appreciate that. I have lived here in Rome a lot. I lived in Rome for a long time. Okay, so I do know quite a bit of the city, but you know, like anything, I know what I've seen. You know, everyone is a good tour guide of where you are. So asking chat here, does anyone have a favorite pizza place where they live, or near where they live, or somewhere else in the world that you want me to go fly at and land at? I will do that for you. You just have to let me know where it is. We're currently in Rome. I told you 3 good pizza places here. We could go to Naples. I can tell you a good pizza place there. More than one, but there's one particular one that I mentioned in yesterday's stream that is one of the best in the world. Yes, they also showed New York City, some good pizza places. Just to keep it with the pizza theme. Naples, you wanna go to Naples? We make the best homemade pizzas. Should we come land by your place again, Shipa? I did it once. It hasn't been updated. I haven't been to the Netherlands since the update to the sim. Okay, let's get out of Rome. Naples. Okay, should we go to one in Naples? Mort says, I've never been there, but I once had pizza delivered to a friend's house in Naples, Florida. Alright. I've never been to Naples, Florida, but hey, I like pizza from anywhere in the world. I've had good pizzas everywhere, so... I've had bad pizzas in Rome. In Rome, I had a terrible pizza here near Termini. A bit of a tourist trap, the place is near Termini, potentially, because, you know, all the tourists, if you come here with... You're arriving by train, you're arriving here near Termini, a lot of hotels and tourist traps here. I had like a pizza that tasted like a cracker with like ketchup and cheddar cheese grated on top here once. I don't even remember, and I don't want to remember the name of the place. I've never... Okay, they were having a gaming day, so I sent pizza. That's awesome. You play like Dungeon... You're a fan of like Dungeons and Dragons and board games, right, Mort? I was checking out your channel the other day. Really cool, and you make 3D printed stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, a shout out. Mort75. The most recent friends of the stream here. Do you have mac and cheese in Italy? The closest thing to mac and cheese, Caffington, that we have in Italy, if you haven't tasted this, it's gonna blow your mind. You probably heard about it, but if you haven't had it in Rome, it's gonna be different. Carbonara. Pasta alla carbonara. Pasta with eggs, raw eggs, okay, just the yolk, but then you put on the pasta and it cooks it a bit. The heated up pasta cooks it. olive oil, a little bit of olive oil. Many ways to do it the way I like it. And guanciale is part of the this cut of the of a pig, you know, the poor pig, but it's from here, and it's like a pancetta, it's like a bacon, and black pepper, pecorino cheese, Parmesan cheese. Best place to eat that in Rome, in my opinion, is again here, Isola Tiberina in Trastevere. These people better start sponsoring me, huh? If I'm gonna do all this advertising here. No, I love them. I'm kidding. I've known the waiter who works in this place for over 20 years. Okay, Dateo, right here. It's this pixel over here. Okay, you can't really zoom in further than this, but see the little white pixel over there? That is Dateo. Is it? Wait, is it really? Yeah, it's down. That little pixel over there. So right by Isola Tiberina, cross this bridge here. You go down this vicolo, or this vicolo. This vicolo means a small road in Rome. And right here, you can sit outside in summer. Go say just hi to Gianluca. Tell him you came from Hypertext Eurostreams. Simon Streams, who lives in New York now. Yeah, I love good carbonara, but it's heavy, huh? Mortem Fight says Dungeons and Dragons and games like that. Awesome. I'm not a huge board gamer because I just haven't had you know, friends who play it who live close to me. I have friends who are huge fans of board games, but they're always far away, so I haven't played much, especially in the last few years. All right, let's go to Naples. Let's just go over there manually. Go south. It's just a couple of hour train ride. You can go faster if you get the express. And eccolo, Napoli. We were flying there yesterday. Was it yesterday we were flying there? Alright. And in Naples, ladies and gentlemen, let me see exactly where it is here. One of the most famous and beloved places to eat pizza in Naples is it's a very old pizzeria. It's called L'Antica Pizzeria da Michele. Okay. L'Antica Pizzeria da Michele, Naples. Okay, this place is very special. It only has two types of pizza. No meat here, sorry, Caffington. Only margherita, which is just a classic pizza that I was showing you that we painted into our airplane. Only this one over here. Okay, or this same one without mozzarella di bufala. See, we could. I didn't put the mozzarella on its separate. On its separate layer, so it's all there, but and that's called a marinara. But excellent. If you haven't eaten that dough and that type of mozzarella, you know the meat won't you won't even think about the meat. Okay. All right. So Pizzeria del Marmo. It's here. Let me double check with my other computer, the Google Maps here, to make sure that I'm not sending you to you know, a different part of Naples that you might not want to go to. Alright, easy to remember. Okay, this is Viale Umberto I here, okay. It's one of the main streets. There's lots of shops and people, you know, watching, and a lot of people wearing the same clothes because Italy is like a fashion, you know. It's like there's this fashion this year. Everyone, if it's a fashion, is to wear, you know, shorts with like Doc Martens high boots that are untied. Everyone, at least young people, are always wearing that at the same time. It's pretty funny, okay. And if you're in Viale Umberto I here, okay, there's a big piazza over here. I forget the name of it right now. But this is Piazza Nicola Amore. This one here, Piazza Nicola Amore over here. And you go to the northeast. Then there's this big building over here, okay. And L'Antica Pizzeria da Michele is right. There's this big building over here. It's like in this triangular building over here. It's right there, right on that triangular building. Is almost like the gods came and said, oh, this is such good pizza, I'm gonna make you guys make a triangular building pointing right to it, as if it was like an icon in Microsoft Flight Simulator there. So that triangular building pointing to one of the best pizzas in the world, ladies and gentlemen. I'm making sure that yeah, it's not right there, it's I think to the left over here, but it's either there or there. Okay, haven't been there for a while. Huffington says tomorrow morning all the pizza shop owners are gonna get a heart attack when they see 200 people coming to finish with coupons from Hypertext Hero. I wish I could give you a coupon, I would, you know, but hey, if they come and they tell me, hey, I'll get people advertising, yeah, they, you know, these people are busy, you know, they're already busy. They might not be so happy if it's in 2 million people, but you know, well, okay, let's go. We'll try to land on Umberto Uno for a pizza, okay? Let's start up here. That is departure. It says, I don't know if this is a bug, but it always says that it's raining now. Let's go and see. Alright, we're ready to go on our pizza C172. Let's go. There we go. We're looking for pizza, ladies and gentlemen. We got Mundhill down there at Capodichino, the international airport of Naples, where Diego Maradona landed many years ago and transformed the soccer here and made it even more into a religion. Okay. All right, let's see this approach. How the heck do the wings even fit? We're gonna have to find out. We'll fly low over it first and see if the wings even fit. If the wingspan of the Cessna 172 even would fit in Viale Umberto Uno. Okay. So just cutting all power to engine here, and quite a bit of wind coming from the sea here. I think there's quite a bit of a headwind in this direction, so that means that if that is correct, my perception here, look at all the tourists here coming with these floating cities with the cruise ships. Okay, I'm not sure if it's my perception here or if there is a strong wind coming from the sea, so there may be a very strong crosswind down there. There'll very likely be a crash, but we're gonna fly low and see if even try to discern whether the wingspan of this Cessna 172 with a pizza painted on top will be able to fit in Viale Umberto Uno. So this is not the landing approach just yet, this is just a test, okay? And I don't also know, maybe there are trees there, maybe just it won't happen, okay? Maybe we have to land on that highway a little bit further on. But Iceberg had told us the other day, it can look like it won't fit, but once you get closer it does fit. Whoa, okay, this really scared someone on their balcony over there. Yeah, I think it does fit. Okay, full power again, let's get the power back up. I think it does fit. So let's do a landing approach in this place. I think I'm gonna approach from this side because there's a bit more space for us to approach where the Naples train station is. Hey Timmy, how are you? Timmy says that plane looks boring, bring back the yellow plane. I know, this is basically the default Microsoft, not the default Microsoft Flight Simulator thing, but just just a very quick and dirty tutorial that I did earlier in the stream, and I am gonna publish the blog post at the end of the stream showing how to do it, ladies and gentlemen. It won't have screenshots yet that I want to put later, but it will have all the step-by-step instructions in text format. Next, Timmy Thumb, next you're gonna be happy to see that the next blog post, not the next stream, that's gonna take a little longer, but the next blog post, it is gonna be about how to paint the float variant, which you're gonna put bananas on the floats. We're gonna make it yellow. And oh, I forgot to let's give ourselves a little more space and let's put the flaps down here. And we're gonna paint up the float variant, the new float variant of the Cessna 172. We're gonna edit that livery because we learned how to do that yesterday after a lot of pulling of hair and kicking and screaming and jumping up and down in rage. But we are gonna bring in a yellow floating airplane with bananas painted on the floats, with Lisa Simpson painted on the bonnet, with Pac-Man painted on the tail, with cheese painted on the bottom, and with the sun and the New York taxi, I think it was, painted on the wings. Okay, everything that's yellow we're gonna paint on that yellow plane, and eventually Caffenton or who was it? It was Worst Finger. Eventually we're going to get to decals and we're going to get to weathering and all that stuff. It's a learning experience for me as well. It's not just you know, now I don't know where Umberto Uno is it's down. Okay, so I'm gonna have to come a little bit front here. It's not just flaps down. It's not just me being an expert and showing how to do it. I'm learning as I go along. Yesterday was the kicking and screaming rage stream because I was learning how to do it. Today I learned how to do the basic and I wanted to come here and show you, okay? Imagine drinking some tea on your balcony, then a plane casually flew in your face. Yeah. That's what we just did on that weird approach to Viale Umberto Uno here. I don't know if this is gonna work because I don't know even if we touch down if there are trees down there, but we are gonna attempt it, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. Oh, and there's that little turret on the right. Watch out. One, two, boss. One, two, jump. We've done it, ladies and gentlemen. We are at Viale Umberto Uno in Naples, okay? With our, whoa. Well, the drone view is... Oh, no, it's working. With our paint... And right here, ladies and gentlemen, we painted a pizza. If you're coming to the stream now, we painted a pizza. That's earlier in the stream, we showed you how to do that. And now I'm just showing you where we are and in Naples. And where is one of the very best pizzerias in the world. Okay. Oh, look, we made it right there. Look at that. Oh my God, look at that. I didn't even plan this, but look at this. You see this building that is like a pointer to the restaurant that serves really good pizza? Okay, we're parked right by it, okay? Here it is. There it is. And ladies and gentlemen, this points right to this corner. And right here is basically a hole in the wall, this place. There's not a lot of room, okay? You can take takeout as well, but it takes time. You're gonna have to get a number. There it is, Pizzeria da Michele. It's that thing over there, okay? I cannot believe that we're here. Okay, L'Antica Pizzeria da Michele, as I had put in Naples, Italy. Naples, I better put Italy so people don't think we're in Florida here. All right. There it is. Timmy says the lorry be like, oh no, not today. Yeah, there's like, oh mamma mia, che cazzo questo. Pensavo avevo visto tutto, like I thought I saw everything in Naples traffic, and now a Cessna 172 is coming here in front of me. He's gonna be telling his friends about that near miss later when he's having some wine and having dinner. Timmy says, I'm working on my library now. How can you see the outline of the blue background? It hurts my eyes at the blue color, so I'm going to try to use Icebird's template instead. Do this, Tim. Here you go. This is how you do it. No, don't stop what you're doing right now. I don't want to hurt your eyes. Here. I'm deploying my blog post right now. Computer deploy blog post. Okay, you ready? You ready? Okay, get ready. Get ready. Stand by. Opa! Okay, here you go. I made a mistake yesterday, Tim. Yesterday, I picked that library that was blue and it hurt my eyes too. Today, I did one that's not so blue, and you do that. Okay. So there's here. This is what I was following today. I wrote this last night and early in this morning, and I was in the stream. I was basically following my own instructions to see if it actually worked, and it did. So it works. Okay. And here, Tim, go here. This hasn't been updated for the latest Microsoft Flight Simulator, but it'll still work. It'll still be fine. Go to FlightSim.2, download this paint kit, okay? And in that paint kit, all right, let's go ahead and let's go ahead and download it. I'll show you. I didn't use this for doing in the tutorial. I just actually dragged the one from the Microsoft official folder, Steam. I went to Cessna 172. Instead of Livery 1, that's the blue one that's really hard to see, I went for Aviators, okay? That one is easier, and that one has decals. Well, the other one had decals too, but this one's a little easier to see. And I just dragged and dropped the thing from there. It was easier to see, but then later I was like, there must be a paint kit out there, and I found this one. All right, and this paint kit, it has this thing called a UV file, and I don't know, I don't think it stands for ultraviolet. I'm not a graphics expert for skinning. Here, UV maps, okay, but it has like in the PDN folder, if you open up, let's go back to Photopeia, okay? If you open the wings.png.pdn, okay, you drag and drop it in Photopeia here. Boom, look at that. It gives you a layer and show you where the wing is, okay? And as Icebird was telling us, I thanked Icebird in the blog post, okay? This here is the top right, alright? Oh no, top right, yeah? This one here is the top left. Okay. And you can take it from there. Up here, up here, I think we have the... And Icebird showed us this yesterday. I think the bottom left up here, I forget, but I won't go into it now because I don't want to tell you something wrong. Okay, I think this is the top here. So here, you can basically remove that, make it appear again, and that won't hurt your eyes so much. The plane is going that way, so this top right here is actually the front of the plane is like that. Okay, so it's upside down. It can drive you a little nuts kidding, okay? My pleasure. As an example of a really cool, before I finish this, okay, as an example, we'll do another flight probably. But as an example of a really good skin file to learn from, if you have the Spitfire that's just been updated today, I haven't yet installed the update, but if you have the Spitfire from do I have that here? I think I do. Maybe it's in my Mac, but let me see. Microsoft Add-ons own libraries. Yeah, I do have it here. Okay. Oh, but no, but I'm not gonna have the PSD. Okay, but I don't have it in the PC right now. I'm gonna have to get it from my Mac and bring it here because I had done that on my Mac. All right. Okay. Any other requests? We landed here in Naples. Go back to the main menu. Any other requests from chat? Someplace you would like to land, or me to land, where there is a good place to eat pizza? By any chance? Anywhere in the world. I've showed you a good place in Naples. I showed you 3 good places in Rome. Florence, there's good pizza, but Florence, I like more the vegetables, the fried mushrooms, the meat. If you like meat, Caffington, there's this one restaurant in Florence you go to. Alright. You arrive at the train station, okay? And then you go like, I don't remember, it's been a long time since I've been there, but you go like down here, and it's either on this street or this street, and that's what was it called? I'm forgetting right now. Sostanza. Trattoria Sostanza, Florence, Italy. Best steak I've ever had in Europe. Okay, the best steak I've ever had in the world. Then we're gonna have to go to south of Brazil. Okay, I haven't spent much time in Argentina. I was very young, I think, a little bit, but near where I was born in the south of Brazil. Here you have the best steaks in the world. Okay, and Argentina, you can see it's right there. So something about the space and the quality there. All right. Yesterday I showed you pizza in New York City. We could go to San Francisco. We could go to Oakland. There's a good pizza place there. Monteriggioni. Do you want me to go to Monteriggioni? I don't even know where that is, but Monteriggioni. Is that real? Wow, Chris, there's a place you want me to go to. Is there a good place for pizza in Norway? Because I know that a lot of Italians, they leave Italy, especially young people, because there's not a lot of work in Italy. And what do? They leave Italy, at least in the last 20 years or so. They leave Italy and they go north to France, they go to England, they go to Germany, and they go to Scandinavia, and they open pizza places. I've heard that too. Monteriggioni must be real. Was there an Assassin's Creed? I don't know. Let's look for it. Monteriggioni. Is that an Assassin's Creed Dune? The 2 Gs? It's probably making a name out of something else. I'm not sure. I liked Assassin's Creed 2 a lot. I played the very first one. You know, I didn't like it very much, but the second one was good. I finished it. Then I started the one in Rome, but I had a really crappy computer. I couldn't run a good frame rate, so I didn't play it much. And then I came back to Assassin's Creed with Origins, set in Egypt. Set over here. And I love that one. That one's beautiful. Beautiful graphics. That new photo mode they introduced was really cool. I mean, new to me. I hadn't played anything between, and then I played Odyssey, which I liked a lot. I finished that, at least the main storyline. I have not played Valhalla. I was thinking about getting it, but there's too many video games. I'm focusing on flight simulators these days. Although I do like other Sims too. We'll probably play some GTA later today. We may play some, what was I gonna say, Elite? Probably too small village for an airport. Monteriggioni, let's look for it. Let's look for it. Monteriggioni, Italy. That exists. It does. It's a commune in the province. Oh, it's in Siena. Okay. Siena has good restaurants. Okay, Siena is a little bit south of Florence. That's where Romeo and Juliet is set. There's Shakespearean play, one of the most famous, if not the most famous, or Macbeth or something. So where is Firenze? There it is, Siena. Okay. Castelnuovo Vergana, Monterone, Arbia. Look at this, how cool. Now we can see. Oh, there it is, Monteriggioni. Okay. There you go. It looks pretty, it's a mountain, okay. But man, if you come to Italy, okay, the best thing, if you go to Italy, the best thing about Italy is that you take a car or a train if you have a little more patience, or a bus if you have even more patience, or a bicycle if you have strong legs, or walk, you know, if you're like a pilgrim or something, or you just want to spend time away from people in nature, which is a really good thing to do sometimes. You walk like in any direction, and after, I don't know, a few kilometers, the food changes. You have special little places that you find, okay? And here in near Florence, between Florence and Siena, this area here, very famous for wine, very famous for excellent food, okay? There's and you can find the best things to do is not go to the big cities, is actually go and explore and just find a random little trattoria, and that's where you're gonna have a life-changing almost experience, and it's gonna make you want to quit everything and move to Italy. Being told Florence is the closest airport. Okay. So where was it? Monteriggioni. Here we go. Monteriggioni. There's this little airfield right here. Avio Superficie Mensanello. Let's go check it out. Put a departure over there. Do we have parking? I can start it hot. And then we go to the right, and I'll take a little flight out Monteriggioni. Worst Finger Gaming says my closest pizza place is run by Tamils. I think the pizza is horrible, but they also do pasta. Okay. And Indian food and Mexican food, always a good sign when the menu is 14 pages long, right? Yeah, that's often a bad sign. When the best places is a small menus. When it's a huge menu, then it's, yeah, bad sign. Sorry to hear that, worst Finger Gaming, but you know, there's a good and bad places all everywhere. As I mentioned earlier in the stream, I had a terrible pizza in Rome in this place, so it's not just because you go to Italy you're gonna have good pizza. Alright, I'm just gonna go straight out and we'll go take a quick look at this Monteriggioni, see what it looks like from the air. A setting of Assassin's Creed 2, I think. There was a mission there. Requested by Wow Craze here. Mountain, there's the Walden Village, okay. Well, where's the Walden Village? Okay, we'll take a look around and see. Although I don't have a little nav map here, so just gonna have to find it. And if you find any mistakes on that blog post, if anyone, the one that I posted a bit higher up, please let me know, because you know, I'm human. I'm not some deity here. I make loads of mistakes. I'm going to be adding some screenshots there later as well, but for now it's just text explaining how to paint this little pizza on an airplane like we had here. Very simple, but useful, I think. Okay, there's the mountain over there. I think it's that one. Go and check it out quickly. I once went to I think we went to Siena and then Florence to drop off my brother and his friend. They were gonna stay there for some conference they were going to, and then on our way back, if I remember correctly, we got lost. We decided to take, like, you know, some real little roads on the countryside of Italy like this, and we got lost. We went down some dirt road that wouldn't end, but then we came into this little town. It was a tiny little town, and we were really hungry by that time because we hadn't eaten and we had gotten lost and hadn't eaten lunch, and we arrived, and there was this restaurant that was full except for one table. We were so lucky we got there was one table and we sat down and we had like a 3-hour-long meal, and it was one of the best meals I ever had. I could barely walk after I left. We had like 3 bottles of wine. It was like myself, my partner Amber, and my mom, and I could barely walk afterwards. But it was around, not far from here. All right. Get the volume down from the outside view so I can hear myself talking. You can too. Good morning, Joey. How are you? Adopt your mistakes and multiply them. That's what I usually do. Wow, great. We are looking for a little walled village after we painted this pizza thing. Here is the blog post showing you how to do it. After we've done it, we're just flying around a little bit looking for the places of good food around Italy, around the world. If you have any suggestions about where to go. There's a little village. I don't know if it's walled in, but it could be. You know, and this obviously is the AI putting down these buildings that kind of look like it. I don't think there'll be photogrammetry outside of the big cities here, so it won't look exactly like the thing that is actually there. Oh, randomly found this. Alright, let's try that. I'm going to do a little landing here. And then we'll go try that. I don't know if I can put it right here. Let's try landing here. Look at that. There's a little lake. Oh, look, that's picking up the shadows from the cypresses. They don't have cypresses in Microsoft Flight Simulator, unfortunately, because this Florence, around this part of the world, there's a lot of cypresses. They're really beautiful trees, you know. And they keep them pretty nicely trimmed, and you can see the shadow there on the map view. Here, we'll go land there. Predict minus 22.5. Thank you, wow, Chris, for your prediction. That's the landing rate leaderboard, ladies and gentlemen. In case you're new to the stream, this is how you do it. You get points for correctly guessing my landing rate, the vertical velocity of my airplane in feet per minute, I think, is the thing on each landing I do. That will eventually translate to stickers, mugs, t-shirts, all sorts of stuff once the merch store is set up. Oh, nice. Okay, I'm gonna go. After this landing, I'll go get it. I didn't have my mid-morning snack. I woke up at like 6 in the morning today. That pretty well, though. Thank you, Joey. Huffington, you need to put a... Whoa! Oh dear, it's that, I think it's that bot again. I'll just ignore that and report in, okay. Caffington, you have to put a negative sign by that 210, okay? It's the bot. The bot is back, ladies and gentlemen. We'll just ignore it. Okay. All right. Thank you, Tim, for your prediction. Oh, losing track of the airplane here. 1 second. There it is. It's that beautiful green field over there. I think that's the one. Or was it over there? Yeah, that's the one, I think. Alright, my landings have been pretty rough. Yesterday I got a couple of good ones below 100 feet per minute, but lately they've been pretty rough, my landings. Pull down flaps here on the Cessna 172, little pizza painted on the top left wing, as per our little tutorial today that I just linked above. If you go to hypertexthero.com, there is a text tutorial, because everyone does video these days. You know, I'm doing video right now, streaming, but I love text. And I like to put that out there to not just help you out, but also remind myself how to do it, because, you know, I forget. I played so many different video games. I edit skins in IL-2, I edit skins in War Thunder, so... I think we're against the wind because it's going pretty slow. This is feeling pretty good right now. Let me make sure that I don't really stall here. And there's those cypress shadows I was telling you about. That's from the satellite imagery. There's some cypresses there probably. Oh, what a pleasant little meadow over here. There's a little flare and another. Whoa. Wow, is there something wrong with this Sim Toolkit Pro? That felt much smoother than -426, but Wildcraze, an applause for you. I wonder if there's something wrong with the Sim Toolkit Pro, because that felt a little smoother than -426. Maybe I want to give myself too much credit. Look how green it is though, it's very nice. Wildcraze of another win here. Landing in Monterogini or whatever it was called here. What was it? Monteriggione, between Florence and Siena, ladies and gentlemen. Here in the stream today. Alright. And at the end of that music, I'm gonna go back to the main menu. I'm gonna update one more time. Wildcraze is 1 away from Sheep on the landing rate leaderboard now. And let's go take a look. This will be a good opportunity to also teach you how to, we learned to do that in another stream, but how to put in precise coordinates, okay, into Microsoft Flight Simulator. Let's say you have it in GPS coordinates, okay. The way you do it is, let's say we wanted to find a random place in Google Maps, okay. As you go to maps.google.com or Bing Maps, wherever you prefer, okay. But let's say we wanted to go to Italy. We can switch to the satellite view and zoom out to see the Earth. Whoa. You can zoom in to Italy and go between Siena and Florence. And let's say, just for Sambuca, that's maybe where Sambuca is called. Rada de Chianti, that's where Chianti wine comes from. Let's say there was this little hill here that you liked and you want to go fly on it, okay. Italy, Sao Paulo, right? And I just click there. And down here, look, you get this, let me do the screen preview so make sure you get the latitude and longitude coordinates, okay. So right click on that, or you click on that, and then you just copy that. Select it and copy it, and also put us in that format that a Wildcraze shared here. We're gonna try that to see if that works. Then you alt tab back to Microsoft Flight Simulator. On the search bar here, you paste it, and then boom, there it goes. Boom, and there you go. The precise location from the Google Maps in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Isn't that awesome? Okay, let's now get the Wildcraze submitted randomly found this coordinates. Let's put it in Microsoft Flight Simulator in that format, and let's see if that will allow us. There you go. Click on it. So that's a very fast way. There you go. Wow. That even looks like a little tiny, like that looks like a airfield for Leonardo da Vinci's, you know, creations, initial like airplane ideas. But that looks like a place. Let's do it. Do it. Set as departure. We're all players. Live weather. Live traffic is off to give us some more frames. East USA server. I'm gonna apply here. You survived 4G. That's for, yeah. That was like 4. That's. I think there's something wrong with Sim Toolkit Pro. That I don't think there's an update for it. But the landing rates, ever since I was landing, I mean, yesterday I did get some smooth ones. Maybe I'm just thinking I'm just giving myself too much credit. It's probably, the problem is here between the earphones, ladies and gentlemen. It's probably not Sim Toolkit Pro. Okay. Alright, let's take a look. We started directly above it. Let's look back and look at this. I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's it there. So that's potentially the thing from Assassin's Creed, the little Monteriggione town. Alright, never been to it. I don't know if there's good pizza or good... this part of Italy, it's not so well known for the pizza. It's more vegetables, meat, mushrooms. You can have some excellent Some really excellent. Oh, this song, it's totally inspired by this Brazilian song called Tem Pau, Tem Pedra. É o fim do caminho. I forget the name of it, but it's a famous samba bossa nova song. Okay. There it is. Monte de John. Should we try to land on a little thing that looks like a landing strip and just maybe clear those trees and put a full left rudder to try not to crash to the other trees? Or maybe I should just come from this way. Let's just try approach from the other way there. Flying VR gonna be a lot of fun. Man, I don't have a VR headset. I tried it once at a friend's house playing Elite. It just, yeah, it blew my mind. I was like, wow. It's almost a little scary for me because maybe I would just stop. I would just want to do VR all the time, but then, you know, for streaming it's not so good because I can't see anything. For streaming I have to look at the chat on the side, I have to... And wearing that thing in my head all day would probably get old, you know, but it is amazing. Eventually I'll get a VR headset. I'm not going to give Facebook any money, so I'm not going to get an Oculus, even though it's cheap and apparently really good. But something from Valve probably. We'll see how it goes. That's far in the future, I think. Okay, flaps down. Let's try a better landing here. I mean, a little high. I'm gonna just go in between that tree and the little white spot there and try to screw it in between those other trees. I mean, a little fast. I'm gonna go around. Full power. That's not working. It has to be a different position. Flaps back up after you pick up a little speed so you don't, you know, fall completely. Look at that wind. You can see, I can feel the wind pushing me sideways here. Asobo Studios, for the next sim update, please bring back a one-click flyby view. That would be so awesome to be able to do a flyby view. It would show you the airplane moving. It would give you an idea of the wind. Come on, why don't we have a one-click flyby view in Microsoft Flight Simulator? It's been there since, it was there since the very first version in 1982. Why has that been removed? Please bring back a flyby view, Asobo Studios. I'm gonna go to CDL streams and now that he works for Microsoft Flight Simulator and keep asking him about flyby views. I hope so. I have to try to sim update 5 so the performance is supposed to be much better for VR too, right? Cine Gamer, you are lethal members back there, a bunch of different people, maybe some new Xbox players here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's attempt this one more time. And here we go. Oh, what time is it? 11:47. Think of high wings airplanes when you bank. Look, you can't see the runway, alright? Or the thing that we're calling a runway over here. Alright, other way. That's the advantage of low-wing airplanes, is when you bank, you have much better visibility to the side. I can move forward here, and that's probably why they made a window. You can go a little bit forward here, so you have a bit better visibility if you put your head right above the dashboard. I don't know. It would be interesting to read about the design of the Cessna 150 series of airplanes, because they are the most produced airplanes in the world, I think. The Il-2 Sturmovik is the most produced military airplane in the world from the Second World War, a flying tank. But the Cessnas are, I believe, in their various versions, the most produced civilian airplane. Alright, there it is. We're coming from this direction. Flaps full down now. I'm cutting the engine completely here. We're just gonna try to fit through there. Just missed those Roman pines. Just glide in for the landing. If we can touch down. I mean, the problem is there's not a lot of space, so I do have to touch down a little hard. Okay. Just missed that tree. Full left rudder. Oh! Oh! Couldn't do it. Alright. But look at that. It was softer than the other one, okay. Ladies and gentlemen. Ooh, look at that weather. I am going to run the outro now. Okay, let's leave Rome and Naples here on the screen. No survival, no winners. Joey. Alright, I want to do some shout outs while I turn on the outro here. I want to thank Worst Finger Gaming for the follow today, for dropping by here. Alright. I want to thank Wild Craze for being here from the beginning of the stream, and Galaxia Cat for moderating for us, for being an old friend of the stream here. Say hi to Sheepa, watching his StarCraft and still taking time to drop by here. We're also gonna switch over the music a little bit to something a little more funky, as is often the case. Something like that. All right, Joey Bolo right here, hanging out. Excellent streamer over in California. Thank you so much for dropping by, Morty. It's been really nice to have you on the stream lately. I'm looking forward to flying with you. If I misspell something, I apologize. I'll try to get it right. Timmy Thumba also streams some Microsoft Flight Simulator and all sorts of other video games, including Minecraft, including Stardew Valley, including Elite Dangerous. Caffington, thanks so much for dropping by, speaking about pizza, speaking about food, hanging out. Alright. Who else was out here? The Wild Craze. And to everyone, and this goes to everyone lurking out there, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I appreciate hanging out here, seeing the weird dribble that comes up to my head. Have a great day. We're gonna pick someone to raid right now. Let's go to Twitch.tv directory. Ooh. I'm gonna go check let's quickly check if the Islander sound update is back. Has the Islander sound update? Nope. Not yet. Not yet a sound for the Islander. I'm waiting for the Islander sound update, okay. Microsoft Flight Simulator Twitch directory. 1-2 boss, the Sheepa Man. Oh yeah. Oh, what the heck is this? Look at this guy. Orkopod in Russian. 1.2k viewers by the gods. Okay, that's probably the Xbox streamer. Alright, got Alpha Originals. I've rated him before. Old Slaz. Haven't seen that, but let's go to the bottom of people with not a lot of viewers. Alright. Let's see what's out there. Flying for 4 now. Adrian 36712. Potential. I'd like to see a camera if possible. Anything out there. I learned how to do this with the Flying Fabio. I'll give a shout out to Flying Fabio. Thank you so much, Joey. If you don't know him, it's an excellent streamer, real life pilot, and aviation safety worker for many years. Let's go give a shout out to CDL as well. Now he works for Microsoft Flight Simulator, so any ideas and suggestions, go and bug him. I don't know if he'll like that, but I think he'll be fine. Of course, Forder learned to... Yeah, the George Clooney... George Clooney, he does look like George Clooney, yeah. Forder learned to fly. I've learned so much from him, ladies and gentlemen. Alright. All right, let's keep looking over here. There's others, but we can do it another stream. Jehan Malala. All right. Take a quick look. 5 followers, Arabic. I prefer doing it with the camera. I want to see people's reactions to be rated. That's why I like the camera. No, sometimes you have no reaction, that's fine. Just kind of nice to see. Maybe we're gonna have to switch flight simulators. We go see X-Plane 11 or something? Oh, we're still in the 4 viewer range over here. Let's keep moving over here for a bit. If you have a, yeah, there you go. For the Flying Fabio. If you have a suggestion for someone who's live to raid, anybody else who I follow here doing Microsoft Flight Simulator is Two-Tone Murphy, but he's got 141 views. He's doing all right. He's a good streamer too. Oh, Icebird is out there, ladies and gentlemen. Let us go and raid Icebird for all, who's helped us so much here on the stream. All right. Oh wait, I did shout out. I should do a shout out for Icebird. Anyway, let's do a raid instead. Wow. Icebird for all. Let's go say hi to Icebird for all, ladies and gentlemen. All right. All right. Ready. Ready now, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go. Let's go say hi. Give him follows if you haven't followed him before. Let's make the guy's day. Let's do it. Ready now. Peace out. I'm HyperTextHero. See you later.